Sign up today for a 7-day free trial at alerts.chartguys.com. Hey crypto friends, checking in on the sector as things continue to tighten. Did a chart yesterday where I suggested that we would break on Sunday or Monday, and it's looking like that's potentially the case. We need to see the bulls bounce a little bit here to not see a bear break occur today. So if we can get a little bit of an hourly oversold bounce, a little hourly higher low and higher high, that will keep things tight until tomorrow or Monday. And we have a month plus long equilibrium at this point that we're looking for the break with the low, high, higher low, lower high, higher low. Lower high has been set with the pullback, and now it's all about short-term support. So support is 97.59, and if that breaks 94.70. Resistance is 10,478, and after that, 10,953. So it's important to ensure that when the break happens, yes, we can act on the break taking place, but in order to be comfortable in that trade, in order to be relieved that follow through is taking place in the direction that the break occurred, we need to see volume, so an increase in volume, and we also want to see multiple levels break. So if we only break the first level in either direction and we don't break the second, that keeps us a little bit cautious of the potential of a fake out. Now, both of those levels, 97.59 and then down to 94.70, that's a further 3% drop. And for resistance, it's pretty much another 4 or 5% move to the upside. So it'll have to be a big move in order to take out multiple levels. It doesn't have to happen instantly, but essentially, if you want to see follow through within 6 hours of breaking the first level, I would say you want to break that second level to get that follow through. So from there, after the first two levels, we still have 3 levels. So the third level, and for support, that's down at 9,000. So 9,000 is the most important level for me. If that level breaks, we then zoom out to the monthly chart because that will put us in monthly consolidation mode, and that will be following what Litecoin and Ethereum have already done. From there, I'll be targeting perhaps even the mid 7,000s because that's where our exponential supports are. The month is going to end in about a week, and those exponential supports will increase a little bit. So it'll be more like the upper 7,000 range, but that's something to be keeping an eye on. Looking at it on the weekly chart, if a bear break occurs, that would lose the exponential support. If a bull break occurs, that would hold it for the 5th time in 6 weeks. So it's going to be important, pretty much the momentum of what we're going to be looking at for September as far as bull still strong and looking great on the weekly, or monthly consolidation now underway. That's taking place pretty much how this daily chart breaks. If we get follow through, that's going to indicate which direction we're looking for September. One thing I want to point out is the monthly timeframes for potential equilibrium. So if we pull back down towards that $7,000 range, we have our low of 3, our high of 13. We'll just call it 14 to round. So low of 3, high of 14. And if we were to pull back, let's see, that's an 11,000 difference. About 8,500 would be the midway point there. So if we pull back any more than that, we're going to be looking for an equilibrium with our low, high. We'll scout the higher low, and then we would look for a lower high. And what that would mean is that the cryptocurrency space is likely going to see volatility drop off for the next maybe even 4 to 6 months. And that's something we need to be aware of. And a point that I always make, as traders, you definitely don't want to overwhelm yourself by branching out into too many sectors or trading too many things as you're learning. But let's say you're 2 years into this and you're comfortable with charting and you're having some consistency with success. It's absolutely worth it to look out into other places to trade, whether it's stocks or whatever. The reason being able to lay off when the environment is not ideal. So during this daily equilibrium for crypto, I haven't placed a trade in maybe a week at this point. And, it's hard to not place a trade. If you're not trading anything else and you're just not trading for a week, that's hard. But I'm trading stocks and I'm trading other things throughout the week, and that's keeping me from forcing trades and entering in poor positions with poor risk to reward or not ideal high probability setups. And I look and go and find those high probability setups elsewhere. The same thing for oil. I pointed out the oil equilibrium in a recent crypto video, and I've been watching that one now for 2 months. I haven't traded oil and just patiently waiting for that break to take place. And I have traded it once or twice, but you get the idea. So that's something that we're going to be watching for the potential of an equilibrium. Another point is the marijuana space. So the marijuana sector, I've compared it many times for the huge hype and euphoria to the huge doom and gloom despair, and we've seen some similarities in those charts with cryptocurrency, but there's a lot of MJ names that are forming monthly equilibriums. This is ACB, high, low, lower high, and we're scouting a higher low. So this is a monthly equilibrium that's been building at this point for almost a year, 10 months or so. So just again, it's an example of the potential of what we could see in the crypto space. This is Cron, big breakout, huge pullback at this point, well over 50%. And when we do turn things around, we will be looking for a monthly lower high. So just some examples of what we can potentially expect if we get a bear break in the cryptocurrency space heading into September, that we're going to be looking for a monthly equilibrium to probably carry through Q1 2020. Ethereum, tight daily range as well, low, let's draw it out, low, high, higher low, lower high has been set. So key support, we only have 2 levels in each direction to be watching as far as the short term goes. So we got key support at 180 and then 171, key resistance at 197 and then 204. And we are currently right in the middle of this range. Daily exponential resistance continues to reject the price. That has to turn into support for the bulls to get any kind of momentum. And again, we're watching the BTC pairing, which has a bull break of its equilibrium, but again, no follow through. And we saw that back here, and it's looking very similar. So we had the bull break, no follow through into a bear break eventually, and we have to be cautious of that. So there's 2 ways this could play out. Well, there's actually 4 ways that this could play out, but let's just talk about if we get a bull break of Bitcoin and Ethereum breaks this tightening range bullish, and if this chart gets followed through over 1980, that's best case scenario for the Ethereum bulls. That means cryptocurrency space is going up, Ethereum's going up, and it's going up faster than Bitcoin. We could also see a bearish break of Bitcoin and this chart break bullish. That means Ethereum is not going down as fast as Bitcoin is. So if I'm looking bearish, that means I want to play bearish Bitcoin rather than ETH. If we see Bitcoin break bullish and this chart break bearish, that means Bitcoin bulls is the way to be looking. And if we see Bitcoin break bearish, I forgot which last scenario I'm on, but hopefully you can fill in the blank by understanding where I'm going with this. But watching how this pattern plays out and watching how the tightening daily pattern plays out tells us, should I be looking bullish or bearish? And which name should I be looking bullish or bearish at? And Litecoin is in a similar scenario. Still just a clear downtrend. We've already dropped to a lower low, which Ethereum and Bitcoin have not done yet. So lower high and lower low pattern continues. Looks like a new lower high is set at 7610. Daily exponential resistance has rejected the last 3 bounce attempts. And the LTC BTC chart is also weak, just grinding the exponential resistance. So lower high, lower low pattern here as well. Bulls essentially have to hold 6914 and break 7529 to shift this momentum notably and get over the daily exponential resistances. So everything that I just said for the Ethereum pairings is the same for Bitcoin as well, or same for Litecoin as well. Depending on how Bitcoin breaks and how this chart shapes up, it's going to tell us looking bullish or bearish, and which name should I be looking bullish or bearish at. XRP USD also tightening up. This is a more bearish name, already breaking a lot of weekly support. And we just have to be real with ourselves, regardless of the fundamentals or whether we're in love with it. Low, high, higher, low, lower, high. So 25.8 key support and 27.8 key resistance, waiting for a break, volume dropping off. Watch for that volume spike and break sometime in the next couple of days. So why I point out that it's one of the more bearish names, if we look on the monthly time frame here and zoom in, we are in a monthly downtrend. And there's no other names that we've just looked at that are in a monthly downtrend, because we had our high, or we had our low, high of the bounce, higher low, lower high, lower low. 246 broke as well. So that is extremely notable to be at the lowest price that we have seen since the big spike in January of 2018. So lowest price in 20 months is extremely notable when you have everybody else, every other major coin, altcoins in the cryptocurrency space, some of them up hundreds of % from their low. Big difference. BNB, already a bear break. So this might be a little bit of an early clue, a canary in the coal mine, showing us that maybe a bear break is most likely in these names. So that wouldn't be enough for me to act on a signal, but it would have me saying, well, maybe I need to get ready for my bearish game plan. And hopefully at this point, if you are a trader of both bullish or bearish cryptocurrency, for me, I'm only trading bullish on Coinbase, and that's been going well, definitely missing some opportunities, but like I said, I got plenty of stocks to trade. So if you're looking in both directions, literally write down your game plan on a piece of paper next to your computer. if X happens, then I will Y. So if Bitcoin breaks bullish, I will enter 40% of my account bullish and I will do XYZ. Have that game plan laid out, because as soon as you put that on paper, it's more real and more tangible, and you lose that deer in the headlights kind of aspect where if the break happens and you're not fully ready to go with your plan, it's so much easier just to execute a checklist. Okay, I do this, as opposed to, okay, what was I going to do? What thing did I want to do? So you can even write down things. Bitcoin break bull, check ETH BTC. If bullish, do this. If bearish, do this. And that's a way to stay very organized and keep from having to make in the heat of the moment decisions, which generally don't go well when trading. So Binance, anything on the daily time frame at this point, anything under 29.18 is just a lower high. And support is going to be down. 26.20 already broke, so 26 psychological, and then 24.17 only support levels, and we are now going from a daily uptrend of higher lows and higher highs and just continuing now the daily downtrend. Weekly time frame still in consolidation mode, which is monthly consolidation mode, which was a little bit of an indication of a temporary top being set in the crypto space when Binance topped out with its bearish reversal candlestick on the monthly and the follow through. So we're definitely looking for a monthly higher low, and what Binance is going to show us is continuation the most likely scenario, or is an equilibrium the most likely scenario? I would say 24.17 is very important for determining that. If we break 24.17, again, we're just always looking at probabilities. So imagine just a needle, 0 to 100%. And maybe right now we're at continuation percent, 60%. If we break that 24.17 level, that flips it down to 40%. And of course, I'm making those numbers up, but that's how my brain's working when I'm looking at setups. If we can hold that level, the odds of a continuation move remain fairly high. If we break that level, we instantly shift to more likely seeing an equilibrium on the monthly as opposed to that continuation. Link USD, still in a tight range as well. We did get a bear break of one level here. This is Binance, but not really a lot of follow through. And there's a little bit of a fake out in both directions. 266, we broke it by less than a penny, and support was down at 211, and we broke that support by about 3 pennies. So bears have a slight edge. We're looking down at 208 and 202. And again, I just want to compare to other exchanges to see how they stand. So just looking at Coinbase and seeing Coinbase definitely favoring the bears a little bit as well. Support was down at 216, and we dropped down to just under 215. Definitely still a bit of a double bottom, but we're much closer to a support break than we are to a resistance break, which means this could potentially be a bear flag on the weekly time frame. With this drop, this weak bounce attempt, and the potential of another leg down. That's entirely possible with the way we are currently set up, and obviously how Bitcoin breaks is probably going to have a significant impact on that. So that's where we stand as we head into the start of the weekend. One more check-in on Bitcoin, because again, this hourly chart needs to change the trend for the bulls on this oversold bounce to try and fend off from the potential of a bear break today. Because we could see an hourly bear flag and then drop down to a lower low and then be right at our support of 97.59. The hourly RSI would be crushed in that scenario, but the 4-hour RSI has plenty of room to the downside, and the daily RSI has plenty of room to the downside. So it is possible we see a bear break today. At this point, bulls' backs are against the wall, and they're just trying to defend this daily support, and we'll see if they're able to. We'll get a good gauge in the next 3 or 4 hours as to how this hourly bounce plays out, as to whether or not it is a bear flag. So again, just another example, as I said in the last video, where the bears, it almost looks easier for them. Much easier for the bears to knock the price down in the last 3 big pullbacks that we've seen. Much easier for the bears than the bulls. So that's where we stand. We'll end it off here with some clips from the meetup with all the members giving their end of 2019 predictions. And I'm sure if we did these predictions after breaking 9,000, if we're going to break 9,000, those predictions would look a lot different. So we'll see. I appreciate you watching. Have a good rest of your weekend. We'll check in once the break of the daily takes place. Thanks again. Do good things. We'll see you soon.
Right. Bitcoin price prediction. Where are we going into this year?
Next year?
This year.
Over under?
Anywhere. What's your price prediction?
I can only go to over and under. I think
December 30th.
Under 20. Under 20K, that's all I know.
Under 20K.
I don't think we're gonna go. I don't think we hit all time
Well,
highs.
okay. What do you think?
Who's like,
I think this year we're going to hit just over $30,000 to close out December.
All right.
30.
Name your price, December 30th. Where are we at? Bitcoin. Bitcoin.
December 30th?
Yeah.
12,000.
12,000? Oh, that's such a boring answer.
That's pretty good.
What about you guys?
15,000.
15,000?
I'll go with 13,000.
13,000, okay.
I'm going with 6.
6,000? Wow, look at a bear over here. All right, guys.
Before I became a firefighter, I was already familiar with
Price of Bitcoin, December 30th this year. Where do you think it's going?
15K.
15K? Okay, we already got one of those. What do you
Don't
think?
know anything about it, so I'm not going to comment.
No prediction? Okay, no prediction. Bitcoin? Bitcoin ended 2019. What's the price?
77,000.
$77? Oh, what's the Bitcoin price? Ended 2019.
$10,400.
10,400?
Yeah.
That's very specific.
$3,000.
3,000? Oh, brutal. Okay.
I better shorten it out.
Bitcoin price ended 2019. What do you?
Bitcoin.
Oh, there we go. Good. Yeah, one more time. Bitcoin price ended 2019.
18,000.
Bitcoin price ended 2019. What is it?
End of 2019?
Yes.
27,403.
25K.
25K. That's what I guessed. Get out of here.
I'd probably say it shoots up to 25,000. 25,000 and $1.
Okay, that's what I said. What are you, Dan? I said 25,000. Yeah.
I would say 24, 19.
24,019?
Yeah. 10,000.
10,000. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
$5.
12,370.
Okay.
32.
32,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty.
5,000.
What is that? That's 4 months away. 11,582.
Okay, that's specifics. What about yourself, Matt? Bitcoin price.
23.5.
23.5. Bitcoin price by the end of 2019.
4,1,247.
All right, that's
No,
good.
end of what?
2019.
This year. So
End of
like
this year?
Yeah.
5 months.
5 months?
Don't think about it this hard. Come on, give me a number.
16,487.
16. I think it's gonna be.
It's going to get close to its max, but it's going to fail. It's going to be like 17, 16.
Six. What do you think?
It's not going to touch the...
Oh, I gotta.
20K.
20K?
Double top.
20K.
Double top.
All right, what do you think?
20K and $1. Thanks.
20K and $1.
Price is Right rules, right?
2001.
Easy.
Sure, did I get you? What do you think?
We got to retest 20K, so at the end of 20,
December 2019. What do you think?
20,000.
20,000 on the dot?
20,000.
On the dot?
We're going to be around there, but
All right.